Good afternoon, everyone. This is Professor Hill. This is a short video for our class, Introduction to Ethics, Philosophy 2306 here at St. Philip's College for Maymester of 2022. It's still Tuesday afternoon, the 24th of May, 2022, and we're in week 2 of our short, compressed Maymester class. Folks right now are reading chapter 2 and working on the case study, which involves John the paramedic, sorry about that. And I wanted to I made a video earlier in the day, but I wanted to come back because I wanted to be clear about one thing about the assignment and about how to apply the concepts from chapter 2 to this particular case study. And the reason I'm saying this is, look, the story is the one of John the paramedic, what he does and doesn't do. And that there's 3 questions that are attached to the essay. The first is, make a comment about John's decision. Was it right? Was it wrong? State why you think so. And then the second thing is, was this a case of applied ethics, meaning the ones that have to do with like a code of ethics for law or medicine or some other kind of highly regulated professional practice by the state. Nurses have a code of ethics that govern their practice and behavior in the profession, in their jobs. And then the last thing was, and I want to read this because I want to make sure we're clear about this. It says, using the information from the chapter, think about the 2 answers you gave above about was it right and wrong, was applied ethics involved, and then describe your thinking in the case. Does your thinking reflect, and then one of the 4 main concepts from the chapter, moral objectivism, cultural relativism, subjective relativism, or emotivism. Now, it turns out there might be an interesting conversation to be had about what John was thinking. But here's the thing. We're trying to deduct that from his actions. Now, again, this actually happened in a class. I had a chance to ask him some questions about it. And he did say, for example, that he thought it was the most moral thing he had ever done. But he didn't go into why he thought it was the right thing. Like, was there some moral rule that applies to everybody that would have been, governing that situation? Or did he, again, think it was the right thing to do because it reflected the cultural values, the cultural morality of the city and state, the society he lived in? So it might be that he decided not to treat this guy. He thinks it's the right thing to do. But then the theory behind that, the why, it could be moral objectivism, it could be cultural relativism. Now, it might be one of the other things, subjective relativism or emotivism, but I find that hard to believe because it's so rare that you find somebody who would fall into that category. Like I said, I've never met anybody who would fall into those categories. Now, if you do, if that's your thinking, and you want to say, no, this is how I think, and this is what it is, and this is why it applies, and it's why it explains my thinking, knock yourself out, write that essay. But I am interested in you and your thinking and what explains your thinking. Chances are you're going to be approaching it from a moral objectivist point of view, which is, I was told there are these rules, like the 10 Commandments or whatever else, whatever they might be, and that they apply to everybody all the time. Or you might be saying, oh, listen, this is what I think, that this was the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. But my thinking is based upon the moral formation I had growing up as a kid, in my schools, in my churches, from my family. These things all shaped and formed me, and I'm a reflection of my culture at this time and place. And that's where these things came from in me. So the thinking part behind it, when we apply the concepts from chapter 2, I want you to use them to explain your own thinking and making your decision about whether or not what John did was good or bad, right or wrong. So it's going to take some self-reflection, some self-evaluation about not just what John did, but your decision and your thinking in the case. So just wanted to hammer that home because these things are going to be due tomorrow, Wednesday, the 25th at midnight. And I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page about that very thing. Okay. All right. If you got questions, let me know. Look forward to reading some more essays. Take care. Bye-bye.